There is a big pot of Oklahoma money that some have suggested be tapped to help fill Oklahoma's budget hole. The Oklahoma Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust, or TSET, has grown to $1.1 billion. Earnings from the trust are devoted to reducing smoking and preventing cancer and cardiovascular disease. And many argue, especially those living in rural areas, that money should never be used for anything but making Oklahoma communities healthier. Oktaha's only park now has a much-needed fence and is a place where people can exercise, children can play, and groups can have activities. It had been a place for most to avoid. Sheila White is Oktaha's city clerk.
We were dealing a lot with loose dogs, running loose, other animals coming into the park. People didn't feel safe. The kids didn't feel safe because of the animals. We had gotten to the point to where it was actually being used in the overnight hours for not very nice things, and we would find contrabanding in different places.
But this year, the park was given a facelift that only cost $20,000. The money came in the form of a healthy incentive grant from TSET, the Tobacco Settlement Endowment Trust.
The transformation now makes me just want to cry. It just brings tears to my eyes, because to have gotten this grant money and see that the changes that we've been able to make by putting the fence up, putting in exercise equipment, painting existing equipment, families are using it now, churches are using it now.
In 2016, TSET began giving the Healthy Living Incentive Grants to communities which have received a Healthy Oklahoma certification for promoting health and wellness. The grants are especially important for poor rural communities, according to Muskogee County Commissioner Kenny Payne.
Many of them require matching funds. In other words, if you're going to get a grant for $10,000 or $100,000, you're going to have $10,000 to put with it, or $100,000. Well, that would just make it impossible for Taft to ever be able to participate in that grant cycle.
Taft is just one of many towns in Payne's district that have received TSET incentive grants. Here, the $20,000 grant paid for breathing new life into what was the center of the community. Mayor of Taft, Elsie Caesar, explains.
Taft has always been a basketball community, and the gym stands as a symbol to what we were and what we will always be, known as basketball, as a basketball town, basketball championship. So we wanted our gym back.
The basketball auditorium fell into disrepair after the school closed in 1994. Years ago, the city of Muskogee donated a wood floor to Taft, but the town didn't have the money to do anything with it. That is, until it received the incentive grant.
It enabled us to actually get this floor down, because that was the major issue, is getting the floor down, because like I said, it had been sitting on pallets for 8 or 9 years, just sitting here with, and we didn't have the expertise to put it down or the money to put it down.
Jason Sheeler of Cherokee Nation Public Health helped Taft in securing the grant.
Now people can come in here and they can actually do immunizations, possible Zumba classes. They can have basketball tournaments. They can do so many different things.
Sheeler works in partnership with Doug Walton, who coordinates the TSET Healthy Living program in Muskogee County. He helps communities, churches, businesses, and schools across the county get the Healthy Oklahoma certification to be eligible to apply for the grants.
And so we basically are there to help support their efforts to provide sample policies that can help create tobacco-free properties or wellness policies that give guidance on providing breaks for physical activity.
Warner High School received an incentive grant for a raised bed garden that botany students are now preparing for winter flowers and plants. Come spring, they hope to have a bounty of vegetables they will share with the community.
We have families that, can't afford vegetables and go into town and getting the food that they need, so we'll grow that and donate it when we have our food drive so that they have food.
The city of Muskogee has 5 different public gardens at parks and community centers where citizens can have free growing plots, like this one in Spradling Park. Walton says the TSET Healthy Living program has contributed to a growing healthy attitude in Muskogee.
The city has added over 5 miles of bike lanes and share the road lanes in the last 4 years, almost 4 miles of new sidewalks and over 70 new curb ramps for accessibility. The city has almost 2 miles of new trails that are funded and under design, and about a mile that's been built in the last couple years, and we've got now over 8 miles of trails within the city.
TSET awards grants throughout the year. In August, more than $118,000 in grant money was awarded to 5 communities, 9 school districts, and 3 school sites.